Hi everyone, good morning. This is Sarah of Spa and Wellness MexiCaribe, and I'm here this morning with Rainer of Art of Cryo, talking about cryotherapy. Welcome, Rainer. How are you doing?
Very good. Welcome to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are.
Yes. So today we have an interesting topic. We're going to talk about the Tec-Spa-Module, the longevity circle. So Rainer, I'm going to hand over to you, and at the end of the presentation, we're going to go through some questions and talk a little bit more about it. Thanks so
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So let's start. First of all, our slogan is joy up. The most important thing from our point of view is that people are happy and happy in the long run. And this is the basis of being healthy, to be in a good mood, to have low stress levels, to sleep well. Therefore, we created a very modern technology in noble design to joy up your life with our high performance products. Cold is the centerpiece. We do electric cryo chambers, but cold is known in history since 3500 BC, means it was present all the time, so to say. We have a nice renaissance at the moment with cold water immersion or ice bathing, which is known since a long time. The dry cold appliance is not that old. It's since 40 years in the market. What we are doing with our developments, we have highest technological standards, very nice and attractive appearance with some possibilities to individualize the product and to give it even more appearance in collaboration with Capristo. Comfort and effectiveness, complementary treatments, and with a lot of potentials of collaborations and co-promotions of our treatments that fit very well with our core products, the whole body cryotherapy chambers. But we also offer a product before and after the treatment. We have more than 30 years of excellence in building electric cryochambers. We never did gas-driven ones, so it's 30 years plus now that we do electric cryochambers in different variations. We are the only company in the world that develops them, produces them under one roof, installs them, and services them. With production, I mean we do the cold technology, but even we build our own control cabinets for the product specifically, which allows up to us to update them when there's a change in a delivery part. You shall imagine the temperature range down to minus 110 is out of the standard. So if there are some parts changing that are normally built to use for temperature, for example, of minus 40 degrees, you always have to do first the testing if that works. And if there's any problem, the colleagues from all three departments can sit together. It means refrigeration, programming of the SPS, which we also have under our roof, and the control cabinet construction. So we are always up to date. Beside that, the mother house of Art of Cryo, L&R Kältetechnik, even a little bit longer in the market, has a big stake in the high-tech refrigeration for industrial solutions, which is pure project business where custom-made solutions are made, let's say, for all the top 100 companies in Germany, you can say. Says there's a lot of experience and anticipation from the projects before bringing new technologies in the cryo chambers by Art of Cryo. Longevity is not a trick or a single intervention. It is a lifestyle. It's the same with a product. You get a cool head within 3 seconds, but if you want to get longer holding effects, it's better to have a regular basis doing that or block enjoying the treatment to get the maximum out of it. Longevity is a rhythm of stimulus and recovery. As you can see, we have a big focus on the mood. It's very important that you can have fun while doing it. You should not feel like in a hospital, even if the treatment itself origins from the healthcare sector. In longevity and lifestyle, the focus shall be to be joyful, enjoy the treatments, and have a better mood and a nicer life with less burden. What Sarah already introduced is the Tec-Spa module. We have seen over time that it's very important to have a good process and an organized process how to do the treatments. So Ardor Cryo is a young brand. It's only 5.5 years, even if Elender Kältetechnik is producing since more than 32 years already electric cryo chambers. The launch of their own brand took place 5.5 years ago. What did we do at the beginning? First, we gave the products a nicer appearance, make them more sexy because the eye is eating as well. And to enjoy a treatment, the environment should be correspondingly. The second thing is we had a look at the procedure, how to do the treatments. So we collaborate exclusively with Remedicool, making individual treatment time calculations, which vary in between 1.5 and 5 minutes. So you get a recommendation based on your personal values for the first treatment time, and we optimize the whole process in a center or in a spa, how to cryo, including an electronic checkup. Means you get an iPad in your hand for 8 to 12 minutes, the very first visit, and afterwards your individual treatment recommendation time, and you can use the app also for booking, and the center or the spa can use the app for the complete management of the same. Then we realized there was many customers that had a problem in making packages of treatments. Some made some errors. So we said it would be nice to have a product before and after the treatment. As we are fans of contrast therapy, also known from the wet treatments, after sauna, you typically jump into the cold plunge. We said we want to offer the same in a dry environment. That was why we developed the MCS. This is a product that you see on the left-hand side. The MCS is much more than an infrared sauna or a smart sauna. It has many, many different treatment levels. But for the contrast therapy, we have deep tissue warmth, we call it, by far infrared. So we want to warm up tissue deeply. And at the same time, we don't want you to sweat because it's not good to have wet skin or wet hair before going into a cryo. That's why we added an air evacuation system. That itself is very nice, but the innovation grade was not so big, as we are big fans of negatively charged air ions, also known as air vitamins, which you have a hard time to offer as a single treatment to the customers. We integrated that because most of the people don't feel immediately what is happening. Only about 5% of customers get a slight tickling on their skin. Negatively charged air ions are very important, and we have undersupply due to our modern lifestyle. First of all, we are not connected, grounded anymore as it was before. We permanently wear shoes. Or often, the good ones of us enjoy to work barefoot in between. Then we have beds that are disconnected from Earth. Some might have a grounding mat integrated, but I think it's not so many who are doing so. Then we have undersupply because we are not enough into nature, especially if you are living in a bigger city. Electric devices destroy the negatively charged air ions and neutralize them. So there's a lot of reasons why we shall get a higher dosage of that. Maybe I tell you where you find the highest concentration of those in nature, then you understand why they are so healthy and nice for your body. The highest concentrations you have at the coastal line. Lucky you, Sarah, where you're living. When the waves are broken at the coastal line, they come into existence. We have a high concentration in forests, beside waterfalls, and after a torment with lightning, where the air has a different taste. You might have realized that before. So what we serve you in there is 15.6 million per cubic centimeter. That equals like if you would put your bed directly beside a waterfall in the Amazonas Delta, in the rainforest for 2 weeks, is a dosage that we serve you in 8 minutes. Not enough for individualization, which is a very important topic in modern spa and wellness. We have light cocktails integrated. We have a collagen red, we have a performance red, we have a calming green and an activating green, and we have a calming and an activating blue. So depending on your treatment aim, you get a different cocktail. That's why we call it light cocktails. We can offer you different lights at the same time, or in the sequence, in the transcourse of the treatment, different light combinations depending on the treatment aim. Not enough. As an extra, we have aromatherapy with 3 different smells. They don't mix through due to the air evacuation system. Says normally our treatment intervals consists out of 3 parts, and in between each of them, we evacuate the complete air. Means if you shift from one aroma to the other one, they will not mix through. Nice side effect beside avoiding the sweating or reducing sweating if you already sweated. On top, we have neurobeads. And another option is to have an integrated vibration plate. Says during the treatment, you already have a passive workout that in the strongest program with 21 hertz equals approximately 14,000 steps. So it's an active treatment. In the normal version of the product, you are standing, but we also already delivered products where we have a sitting version, for example, for 4 people. We made the biggest light tunnel, which is installed in Cruise on Madeira for 12 people with 12 stations. Means there, every 1.5 minutes, 2 people can enter and up to 12 at the same time. Sums up that you can offer up to 80 people the treatments in the MCS. That's the first step. Immediately afterwards, obviously you still check if you have very wet skin or sweating, but normally you can immediately afterwards go directly in the vaults, the cryo chamber, where you stay the 1.5 to 5 minutes on different temperature levels depending on the product that you choose. We have 3 different product lines. The single walls is the solutions where you step in with 1 step with 1 person, and you're directly in the treatment area. Here we have 2 different models, the V1 and the V1 Lux. That's a single walls for smaller spas or setups where you can work in a very nice way and continuously during the whole day. The next product line is Vario walls. Vario walls consists of V2 and V3. The number behind here stands for the number of rooms. In the V2, you have 1 pre-room with minus 60 degrees Celsius and the actual treatment room with minus 110 degrees Celsius. In the V3, you have an additional other pre-room with minus 10, minus 60, minus 110, where you do the treatment and you walk out in the same way. Huge advantage of those products is a professional line. This is also where most of the nice studies was done with good outcomes in the medical environment. Is you can enter with up to 4 to 6 people, depending. I always say not a problem to enter with 6 prima ballerinas or let's say 3 to 4 big rugby players, so to say. You have very stable temperatures due to the pre-rooms where you stay in the beginning shortly, and the pre-room on the treatment level has a function that rest humidity from your skin can evaporize before you go into the actual treatment room. Then we have Unical walls. Unical walls is products done directly for the customer on the beaches. That can be for a super yacht. They have very special measurements that you have to fulfill. They have to get smaller, bigger, or whatsoever. Also in Madeira, you find the biggest cryo chamber in the world. They made a 4-room solution, the first walk-through cryo chamber in the world, where you can enter with a complete soccer team at the same time. That product is 10 meters long and 5 meters deep, so you have a really spacious cryo chamber that is ideal also for social wellness, where you can enjoy the treatment together with your friends and family. Once ready with the cryo, you go to the flow system. The flow system uses alternating deep flow technology, means we apply overpressure, as you know them from compression boots, but touchless, and with exactly the same pressure from the tip of your toe to the lower rib bow. Means you have a very nice distributed pressure that helps you to clean the lymphatic system. And then it goes into under pressure up to minus 120 millibars, which is twice as strong as the second best product in this category. And by alternating, you can use it in a very wild area of fields to optimize your ABI, for example, when it comes to longevity. Also in sports, you can use it before sports to have more power development, to increase your power, or after sports for regeneration. The free products are designed in a way that you can work like for prevention and health, beauty and glow, longevity, energy and performance, sleep optimization and recovery, or in general for lifestyle. Each device is a standalone solution, but we say better together because they're designed in a way that you get an outcome. The outcome of the one promotes the other. You have short treatment times. It is designed in a way that you don't need too much staff. Everybody of us knows how difficult it is to get good staff. So I would always recommend to have the products in one treatment room, in a bigger one, best also amplified depending on your business with other treatments that can be added and make sense. They can come from the physical therapy, it can be HBOT, it can be IHT, it can be cold plasma. There are so many different things where you can combine it with classical massage, fitness, personal training, leisure activities, and so on. So you have a whole bunch of upsell and cross-sell possibilities. But if you take the circle, the Tec-Spa-Module as a basis, it is an easy way to integrate it in your weekly routine because all three products together, you need only 21 minutes net treatment time. Maximum means in half an hour you can be through, and this is something that you can easier integrate in your weekly routines. And once you have time, then you can also enjoy other offers of the place that require more time or more planning. You can work in a very individual and targeting way. Um, you get results after the first session, but obviously, if you do a series or of session or you integrate it as a longevity protocol in your weekly life, you get really nice outcome in the long run. They're very effective. It can be a nice hub where people meet and enjoy wellness together. Now comes a little video, 1 second. As you can see, longevity, wellness, lifestyle can be real fun and bring people together. So whatever direction of communication you have, let's say if you talk about longevity, the MCS helps you to get rid of free radicals. In the cryo chamber, you reduce inflammation. In the flow system, you can optimize your ABI. ABI, most of the people might not know. That's why I give a short explanation. ABI is a value that is calculated out of the blood pressure that you measure on your upper right arm, like you know it from the doctor, but also on the upper left arm. And at the same time, on the lower joints of your legs. So you have four values. A young and healthy person has exactly the same values on the left side as on the right side. And the difference in between the upper and lower value is in a certain range. By age 40, it's normal that we have some disbalances in there, that the flow in our body is not equal anymore. And if you have a bigger disbalance in your ABI with a single treatment of the flow system, you can already see how it is optimizing. If you then do that in the longer run, you can do a little bit reverse engineering. So perfect communications for longevity. If it comes to sports, for example. You go to the MCS, it helps you with warming up. Your complete body is activated. You have an increased blood flow. You are energized. You go to the cryo chamber. In the cryo chamber, the opposite happens. You have a vasoconstriction. Blood flow concentrates on your rump, highway, and management. Um, the muscles get warmer during the treatment, which is a funny thing because you shiver and fight against the cold that is coming from the outside. That's one of the differences to cold water, for example, where the cold penetrates you deeper. So you're warming up again for the sports, which means injury prevention, and at the same time you increase your endurance. So you have more endurance during your training or competition. After that, you go on the flow system, another passive training. You have a special program to prepare for sports, means blood goes deeply into your muscle. This leads to another natural doping for strength development, means you have more power in your legs, which you feel immediately if you go to the fitness on a press. Or for example, we have in one of our customers has a national handball player from Zurich in Switzerland. He does that before he goes into the match, and he says he does not get as easy tired during the sports competition and has more power that he can develop for jumping. And you can use the free products, funnily, also after sports for a better recovery. If it comes to glow and appearance, if you want to stimulate the collagen in the MCS, it's another program which guides you already. Cold is known that you promote the collagen synthesis, so you can make wrinkles disappear for a shorter time. Bad news, they are coming back. By the way, I have the personal good experiences with Mexico. I was several times over our winter time in the Caribbean, getting a nice color, and then going to Cryo the first 2, 3 times. I look like an Indian with white stripes here on the side because obviously the wrinkles didn't get the time. And the flow system helps you to strengthen connective tissue and to give you a better appearance of the skin in other areas of your body. So you see, just with these 3 examples, whether it's longevity, whether it's sports or beauty, you have a very, very nice combination with the 3 products together in whatever direction you want to work or go. I would say we should switch now to the point where you can have some questions and we can go deeper in the directions that you would like to know more. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was fantastic. Thank you, Rainer. So many applications for recovery and longevity, and so much more than just the cryotherapy. Really, really interesting to learn about the MCS with the far infrared. We have a question about sweating. If someone sweats a lot, what would be their protocol? This is going to reduce sweat, but it might not eliminate for someone who sweats a lot. Is that right?
That is correct. You just reduce sweating, and if you're already aware of sweating, you have the chance to reduce the amount of sweat that you have on the skin. Now it depends in which product you're going. Either you make a short break before you do the treatment. If you have a bigger cryo chamber with pre-rooms, you just stay a little bit longer in the pre-rooms. Bring your hands up, rest humidity can evaporize, go into the air before you go in the actual -110 treatment room.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes. Another question that we had is about training. How much training is required to operate the Tec-Spa-Module safely and effectively?
I would differentiate here in 2 directions. A normal person just to operate the products, I train you in half an hour easily, the complete circle. Obviously, I always recommend to have 1 person that is much deeper into it to answer specific questions. We normally do a half-day training, but we are there for our customers, obviously, afterwards as well. And if the installation is far away, 2 times half-a-day training, that you have 1 night in between for questions that come up, and then during operations, obviously, we are still there when questions appear.
Fantastic. So pretty
Design.
simple to teach people to use the equipment, but deeper knowledge about the functionality, the effects on the body. Obviously very valuable.
Exactly. For the daily guidance, we have handover protocols or papers where one can orient to get an idea. And we assist, especially I like to assist 1 person who is diving deeper into it to have answers on more specific questions.
Fabulous. Well, now I need to travel somewhere so I can try all of them together.
Always welcome. We already have the complete Tec-Spa module now in 14 countries.
Fabulous, fabulous. I feel like Latin America has been a little bit slower on the uptake of cryotherapy, specifically in spa and wellness operations. But I wonder when we'll start seeing a lot more of these facilities because typically the investment required would be something put in when a spa is being built rather than capex for an expansion, unless they're doing a really big kind of renovation. I always wonder with the luxury end where we see more innovation and more uptake of this technology, who's going to be the first to offer all of these as an amenity rather than a paid service? Because if we think about sauna and cold plunge, we don't charge guests for that in the spa. Maybe
I
one
would
day we'll
go.
have these as amenities in a luxury setting, and then, the rest of the industry will follow from there one day.
I think the nice thing, and this is an error that we should not do, and that's why I'm saying since quite some time to customers and potential customers, bring everything together in one room, manage
Mhm.
it as a profit center that you can see that, and we should not make the same error as with the spa that afterwards you always have to argue that you indirectly earn more money because the room rate went up. And you get guests that are on average spending more, but actually the spa itself burns money. That's why I say put it all in one room. We created a nice basis that you can start with or directly add some services. I would recommend to have some space to bring new technologies afterwards around, as it is so versatile. There's more than enough space for it. And if you have everything in one room, you have quite some advantages. You have less build
Yeah.
out in the beginning because the walls in between better spend more on the appearance of that one room. Second, you need less staff to manage all of them together, having an overview. Who do you think is the best salesperson for the Tec-Spa module or the treatments and other treatments?
I mean, should be the person speaking with the guests most, so somebody on reception.
No, it's a guest itself. If you have
Ah,
a satisfied
right.
guest that tells another guest how awesome the experience was, this is better than any person that is working for you because that is credible. So if you
Definitely.
have one area, you fit the social wellness way of thinking on the one hand, and at the same time, you give the guests a chance to sell to the next guest, which is really nice. Or a guest comes and wants to try one specific technology, and they already see the others and they see the joy that they get out of it and have the chance to interact. Then it's more comfortable for the guest. Imagine that if you want to do, let's say, if we stick with the basis of the Tech-Spa module with our free products, if I 3 times have to put a rope in between and go from one room to the other, to the other, to the other, and I have
Mhm.
another room where I changed my clothes, I'm already in 4 rooms passing through the pathways there where there's other people. This is also complicated for the guest, not only for the
Mhm.
person working there. So it's much more comfortable to once take your gloves off. You keep the socks. You have some shoes that protect on the floor. You go into the MCS, have your protective goggles. After that, the protective goggles go away. You put the gloves, the headband, the mask, or a hat to do the cryo. After that, you can already take part of your gloves back. You just leave the shoes off and don't put your belt and the upper clothing, so to say. You enjoy the flow system, put the rest, and you're ready to go. So if I'm in the nice Caribbean and that day I don't want to spend 4 hours in the spa, but I want to make an excursion to the old ruins, for example,
Mhm.
this half an hour I can easily integrate without the need of shower afterwards, making my makeup or my hair again. I can
Mhm.
just easily integrate it in my daily routine and enjoy it, as an example. That makes it also viable for a business hotel that does not have a spa at all. Yeah. Because it's something that people easily can integrate, or in a congress hotel. That's a nice thing about that concept, and why I'm fighting to get an extra profit center area. There is
Mhm.
something unique in between the classical hydrothermal spa with a massage attached and things, and the fitness or the group workouts and group classes. I think it deserves it, and that gives the possibility to measure and see afterwards how you can make money with that. And that works even in 5-star hotel business in Switzerland. I don't know if you heard about the Appenzeller Hus, a brand new five-star superior
Mhm.
spa. They integrated our MCS, cryo chamber, and the H-pod in one room. The flow system did not enter anymore because they've already advanced a little bit in construction. That's in the room beside, and that is really well accepted, and they love it. Another five-star property, they didn't listen. They integrated the complete circuit, but the feedback after 2 weeks was, we should have listened to you and have everything in one room. So that
Okay.
works even in five-star superior, where we have in our mindset, no, you cannot bring guests together. That's impossible. It is, because if you go to the sauna or to the pool, you are also together with other guests. So why shall it not work with that?
Fantastic. Yes. So the MCS, how long typically are guests spending inside that equipment?
Treatment time is in the MCS 8 minutes. In the cryo chamber, it's been between 1.5 and 5 minutes, depending
Hmm.
on the product and on your personal values like age, gender, skin type, stress levels, and so on. So that's calculated for you. And in the flow system, if you use it within the Tec-Spa-Module, you did the other two before, it's also only 8 minutes. That's how we come to a maximum of 21 minutes net treatment time. If you do combine the flow system only with one of the two before, the typical treatment time is 12 minutes. And as a standalone product, it's 24 minutes.
Fantastic. So yeah, it would work really well in a city environment where people are pressed for time. I love the fact that you mentioned that people don't have to take off makeup and reapply makeup, because that's definitely a sticking point for a lot of women who want to go to the spa and enjoy a wellness activity or longevity recovery activity, but don't necessarily want to have to deal with all of that. Excellent. I really loved the design aspect of using the light. It really created a very modern feel and a really interesting atmosphere that we saw on the video. Tell
Mhm.
us a little bit more
Yeah, it's
about the light
multi-sensory.
system. Mm.
Pardon?
Tell us a little bit more about the light system.
The light system is one of the main points to individualize your treatment. So whether you want to work on the appearance of the skin, you want to lift your mood, you want to de-stress, you want to give more power to your defenses. Yeah, there it depends which program you select. We have 12 treatment targets that are preset and that work well together with the following treatment, so to say. So it's easy to choose what is the right selection for you. And on the MCS and the flow system, we also have a test program, so to say, to tease a customer if they are not yet sure if they want to do it. So that's only 4 minutes. The same is existing for the flow system to give you an impression, like a trial treatment, so to say. With
Perfect.
the,
Really
maybe two words
interesting.
more on the flow system. On the flow system, we have like 6 categories of treatments that are integrated, and under each you have 5 different areas that you can work in.
And
So
the
it's also
vibration system is inside the MCS, is that correct?
that is correct. If you have the standard version or a tunnel, for example, this is optionally integrated and you have a passive workout. If you want to turn it off, let's say somebody is not so mobile, it's one click in the product. And if you would
Mhm.
click 2 times on the button, it's like an emergency off and it would stop working at all. And you can
Okay,
restart
interesting.
afterwards.
Yes. Yeah, there's really a lot of technology layered into each device. Is that certainly in the MCS?
Yeah, all of them are high tech. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Rainer. This was really, really interesting. And I look forward to seeing more of the Tec-Spa-Module, hopefully in Latin America soon.
Yeah, we would be very pleased. So in the US, soon the first complete circle comes finally, and it will be going on.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching,
Thank you very
everyone.
much. Have a good day. Buen día. Encantado.